to measure for your pattern, how to measure yourself for the pattern. Now, most people think the way you alter things or the way you decide if it's going to fit or it's not going to fit is to take measurements. I hate to tell you, the tape measure is only there to guide you to draw the pattern. This really has nothing to do with fit. And we don't do size anything in the Fitnice pattern. We do your measurements. So it's whatever you measure. Whatever you measure in the bust, in the waist, in the hip. That's what we're after, is that measurement. Now, one of the things that I do want to tell you before you start to any of this project and you start drawing your pattern or anything, go back to the pattern itself, the envelope that it came in, the cardboard envelope it came in, and download that link, because that link has an hour-long video in it. And I go over step by step by step with close-ups on how to draw the pattern, how to measure yourself, how to draw the pattern, and then how to tweak the garment after you've made it. So it takes you step by step. So right now what I want to do is to help you decide which of these sizes that you want to use. Well, when you get to this part, and this is the pattern itself, remember I told you it was a full-size pattern, which it is. I'm going to fold this in half because what I want to draw your attention to is this chart that's right on the pattern. And this chart will tell you all of the sizes. Now, I have to tell you, when I first started to sew, one of the things that frustrated me was I didn't know the mind of the designer, so I had no idea what that pattern was going to measure after it was sewn. Well, guess what? I've given you all those measurements. So if you look at this chart, there are 3 columns of numbers. One says size. Now, please don't pay any attention to those, because those numbers are ones I made up. I could have called them A, B, C, D, whatever, but they're 28 through 46. Then when you go under the bust, all those measurements, that's what that size is in your garment after you've sewn it together. Now go to the next column and it says hips, and all the numbers under there are what your hips measure after it's sewn together. So using this chart, that's how we're going to decide what size you need to make. So if you look at my little dress form here, she's got some green tape on her. This is painter's tape, which I love, by the way. And we're going to measure the bust, not the high bust, but right around the fullest part of you. Then you're going to measure your waist. And when you buy this pattern, you will get, I call it a practice pattern. It's a mini pattern. And it has a chart on there. And the chart is where you're going to write your measurements down. Okay? So I need the bust, I need the waist, I need the tummy, and I need the hip. Now, I have heard many patterns, and I've heard many teachers say your hips are exactly so many inches down from your waist. I don't know. Are yours? Or they say it's so many inches down from your navel. I don't know. Are yours? Or they say you got to have your hip measurement, not your tummy. Your tummy doesn't count. Oh, yes, it does. Because there are some people, their tummies are bigger than their hips. And if your tummy is bigger than your hip, I need to know that, because that's how you're going to draw your pattern. So let's just say, for instance, we're going to call this lady Mary. That's the easiest name. That Mary's tummy is much bigger than her hips, but she doesn't sit on her tummy, so they're not her hips, all right? So we need to use that number, and that number realistically becomes our hip measurement, because it has to go over it. Now, I have on the basic top. This is just the basic top. It has a scoop neck finished with Chanel trim, and it has long sleeves. It's a little bit longer top. If you want to make it longer, totally up to you. If you want to make it shorter, totally up to you. That becomes your decision. But as far as the fit of it, I have my bust, I have my waist, and I have my hips. All right? So once I know those numbers, now I can choose what size to use. So on this chart, let's just say that, and I don't, but let's just say that my bust measured 32 inches. That's exactly the number I would use, all right? And that means I would use a size 28 in the bust. But let's just say that my hips measured 48 inches. If I come over here, that would be a size 44. So I'd be using a 22 in the bust and a 44 in the hip. Now watch. This would be the 28 in the bust, and this would be the 48 in the hips. So I literally would be drawing like that. But you get to draw whatever size you are. And again, that's the beauty of being able to have multi-sizes, okay? Now, let's just say you're not on the pattern. Let's say that your measurement is off the pattern. Not a big deal. There is 1/2 inch between each one of these sizes. So the largest size in the bust area is 48.5, and just for my brain and my math, we're going to just call it 48, okay? Let's just say that you're 50 in the bust. That's 1/2 inch. So you're going to go 1/2 inch out from the bust area. What if you were 58 inches? You would go out 2.5 inches from the bust area. So whatever you are, that's how many inches you would go out. Same with the hip area. And you would draw that in. Now, and whatever, by the way, whatever you added to the side, you'd also have to add to the side of the sleeve, because that sleeve has to go into the armhole. The best part about sewing in this way, and I know a lot of us back in the day when we learned to sew, if that pattern said that was a size whatever and it was going to fit you and this is what you were supposed to do, and then you put it on and it didn't fit and you went, well, I suppose I don't know how to sew very well. Nope, it isn't you not knowing how to sew very well. It's the pattern not telling you how to measure very well. That's all it is. So with this, I'm going to take you again in that video step by step. So when you sew this together, if it's too big, that's a good thing. Take it in. Well, let's just say it fits me in the hips, but it doesn't fit me in the bust. Just take in the bust. Let's just say it fits me in the bust and the hips, but it's too big in the sleeve because I have a tiny arm. Just take in the arm. That's the beauty of sewing this way. You need to alter it according to your body and according to your comfort, because comfort is primo at any age. Because if it's not comfortable, I don't care how skinny you are or how big you are, you're going to throw that garment in the back of your closet and you're just not going to wear it because it's not going to be comfortable. So we want it to fit and we want the comfort there too. So this is the way you're going to choose what size pattern to use.